Welcome in, everybody. We got some strong storms we're chasing today. These aren't tornado type of storms, but these are large hail and wind, and probably actually quite a bit of flooding is going to be starting up soon. These things are not moving very quick. As of right now, these things are not moving very quick. So definitely going to have a big flooding risk here. This is going to be a little bit more of a chill storm chase, so I'm going to have a lot more of a chance to check chat, do stuff like that. We're not going to be moving the whole time, driving every second of the chase. But we're just going to have some really good-looking storms today, I hope. Right now, they're kind of pretty. Eventually, we'll get more intense. Maybe we'll core punch something. I don't know. Well, actually, let me show you guys the radar here. And it's really messy. You can see we're looking at this mess up here by Overbrook. We're right here looking at this mess. There's actually kind of a supercell down by Osage City that's trying to get going. Maybe we blast south. I think we probably just blast south, all right, towards that. It's trying to become a supercell down there. So we may blast south towards Melvern. Let's see here. I'm not really expecting any hail over about ping pong, so I'm not too scared to core punch any of these guys here.
Starting route to Melvern.
So we're actually going to turn around and get back on the road we were just on. And we're going to try to go towards maybe something formed to the south. I probably just want to be as far south as possible today. That's going to be the storm with the cleanest air. Potentially the most photogenic looking storm. So if you're just tuning in here, we are in Northeast Kansas. We're kind of near Lawrence. Heads up, I got a lot of bugs on my windows. I did clean my windows, but since I cleaned my windows, they got quite a few bug splatters on them. But the second we get into some heavier rain, heavy rain there, those bug splatters are gonna go right away. But yeah, this is East Kansas here has a lot of bugs this time of year. They're just now starting to become a problem. You can see almost like an inflow tail there into like the mid levels of the clouds, and that means they're getting some inflow into them. I think that's an inflow tail. But we're gonna be headed down towards the south to see what there is down there. But we got some pretty storms here. Maybe some of these will develop a little bit of rotation, but nothing that probably nothing that's going to be too significant once we get relaxed. So those are always the fun ones where you're not really expecting anything bad to happen, and you can just kind of chill, enjoy the weather, enjoy the cloud structures and the lightning and all that stuff that comes with it. Not worried about seeing tornadoes today, really, honestly. Maybe we might run into some flooding at some point. Looks like up towards like Topeka or Lawrence, you might be dealing with some flooding here. Got an ominous looking storm here. Nothing too special, but a pretty ominous storm there. You can see a lot of motion in those clouds there. And you can see that dark turquoise is a lot of rain back in there. Even a more interesting looking cloud to our north. But some of this stuff is like trying to spin up on the leading edge, but like I said, we're not really worried about those days where the farther away that you are, the better the storm is going to look. This is how I kind of see it. So we're headed down towards that one, towards Osage City. It looks like it's going to be the strongest one. But a lot of these are going to be a little bit short-lived and sporadic. And I'll tell you why. There's not much wind shear. So to get out of the building, here come the bugs hitting the building. Here come the bugs hitting my windshield again. Also, now we finally have some raindrops. So we're about a severe thunderstorm. Just enough to kind of get a severe thunderstorm. We got some gusty winds here on the front edge of this thing. Gonna go left. We chased a tornado in the same area a few months back. Well, I say a few months back, last June, we chased a tornado near Osage. Wow, look at some of this rain on the windshield I wanted to see. But storm off there to the right, looking west. I feel like I have 2 bars. It feels like I have about 1. Today is just one of those low-end severe weather days. You know, you get them dozens of times a year. And every now and again, 1 or 2 of those days will do something funny, but I don't think today is going to be one of those days. Tomorrow could be. We're getting in position to this other storm, guys. That's what we're doing right now. I almost rather wish I was in Western Kansas or even Texas, because I feel like the storms there are going to be a little bit better. Plus, it'll be close to tomorrow's target. But see, this storm's got a little bit of rotation on it by Osage City. Trying to get down there. Trying to get down there. We're headed towards Melvern, Kansas. Got bugs flying all into the windshield. This storm might be about to get a tornado warning soon. I'm not sure, actually. Has some rotation on it. Has some rotation, but every time it tries to rotate, every time the storm tries to rotate, it just gets nailed with another merger. So probably not gonna do anything. And we got a little town here. Full of the trees. That merger's probably helping it wrap up a little bit now, but eventually that's going to become the dominant storm. Oh gosh. So many trees, so many bugs. No rain. Let's knock these bugs off. About to turn right. This guy going real slow in front of us is still in front of us. I don't know what town we're going through. Some little town right here. Let's see. Pomona, Kansas. It's big enough to have a Casey's. I guess there's that. And Dollar General. Big enough to have a Casey's and a Dollar General. It's got to have at least 1,000 people here then. Casey's has really taken over this part of the Midwest for sure. Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, about every little town has a Casey's now. I love Casey's, so I'm not complaining at all, but they have really taken over. Taken over. I think that's the correct grammar. Getting to our storm here now. What's up, guys? Saturday last year was Iowa's big outbreak day. Yeah, it felt like every Saturday there was an outbreak last year. I remember April 26th was on a Saturday. This year, it feels like Sunday's becoming that day. We could have more stuff Sunday. Monday looks really concerning, guys. So Monday's going to be a big chase day. Monday looks the most concerning. Sunday could be talking about stuff anywhere from the Texas Panhandle all the way up to South Dakota. And then Monday, again, widespread from Minnesota down through Oklahoma, maybe even northern Texas. Alright guys, we're gonna have eyes on our, we're kind of getting eyes on our storm. We're gonna have better eyes on the storm here in about 5-10 minutes. Gotta watch for deer out here, East Kansas, man. East Kansas, there's so many deer, always a lot of deer. I don't know if these supercells are going to be able to sustain themselves or not. Hopefully that rain is getting some of those bugs off the window. Probably not enough. We'll see if it looks like anything in. We might just have to get out ahead of it and just look for structure. Strong storms coming into Lawrence now. There you go. There's a look at our storms back down there. There's a little bit of a base back in there on the left. But otherwise, this is really wrapped up in rain. There's a lot of moisture in the eye, a lot of wind. Have a nice little complex of storms develop here. We're going to go east another 3 miles here, and then we're going to turn south. We're going to get into some heavy rain here. Road network out here. Going to get out ahead of this thing and see if it has any nice structure on it. It may have some better structure there on the southern side. That's why we're trying to get south of it. These things really develop into a complex really quickly here. better looking air pretty soon here. About to turn south, and then we're gonna keep going south so we can get out ahead of this thing. Oh, I'm a little bit nervous. Maybe I should have been in the Texas Panhandle. There looks like there's a very interesting storm down in there. You can see we got some stuff going on back there. Not much, but we'll see if it does anything funny. These are some nasty storms, mainly outflow dominant. There's not really much of a low level jet right now. There's a storm southwest of Amarillo near Dimmitt that I'm a little bit worried could really get going and make me regret not being out there. It's moving. It's not even moving at all, which usually means it's getting inflow. A nice base right there. The storm here right in front of us. You can see the base of the storm. It's pretty rainy back in there, but see a little bit. Say goodbye to the bugs on the windshield. Hail. Here we go. A little bit of hail there. Maybe a couple peas. This storm could try to wrap up here. We'll see. I don't know. Looks like an outflow boundary just shot out of the storm, so maybe not. Bunch of nasty rain. Looks like this storm is outflowy. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we're just to the southwest of Ottawa, Kansas here on strengthening storms. Like I said, there's a really chill chase today. Doesn't look like too much of a tornado risk. If any, there's not really any tornado risk at all here, but Melvern, Kansas. See some hail on the ground here. little downtown. A little downtown. Not much of any rotation at all. They're good looking storms. We're gonna get a little bit further south and then we'll just get a little bit further south and then get onto them. Gonna sit out ahead of these. Definitely just shot out an outflow boundary out ahead of these. Lawrence, Kansas, you're getting pounded with some strong storms right now. Not quite severe. Some strong storms headed towards the western side of Kansas City, Overland Park. To watch that storm to the southwest of Amarillo here in the next couple hours to see if it does anything. The main target today was the dry line, certainly, but we ended up here in eastern Kansas chasing linear segments. See if the stuff in the Texas Panhandle does anything or not. Who knows what it'll do. Didn't love the environment there enough to pull the trigger. But I do think tomorrow's a different scenario. Tomorrow's a much different scenario when it comes to chasing out there. Gonna go just a little bit further down. Just some chill storms today, guys. Just some chill storms today. Try to answer some chat. We're close to I-35 in Northeast Kansas. Where am I at? Northeast Kansas. Maybe East Central Kansas. I don't know. I'm near I-35, south of Ottawa, Kansas. Wonder if this is a chaser right here, stopped up here. Maybe he's looking at the storm. There's not any chasers on these storms really, other than me, myself, and I. But we can turn around up here and get a look at these things. Oh, let me go this way. They're going to be heading kind of southeast. There we go. We got a strong storm right there. Let me head up to a more safe location up here. Yeah, these look very, very outflow dominant. Had a brief, like, 10-minute stretch where it looked like these storms were trying to get some inflow and turn into supercells. But that kind of faded really quick. This kind of reminds me of something you'd see here in, like, June. Where there's, like, not really much wind shear. Lots of outflow. Decent cape. Yeah, these storms are outflow. You're maybe getting some inflow in there, maybe a little bit. which is why it looks so ominous, but not a lot. Tornado warning up by Scott City, Kansas. Looks pretty messy. These guys here are pretty messy storms, but they're moving really slow. So we can just sit and watch these guys and just chill. Definitely a pretty looking storm, that's for sure. Low to the ground, but there's not rotation in there, guys. It looks ominous, but there's not rotation. There's not much rotation there. It's a cool looking storm, that's for sure. Really outflow dominant. I open my window and I just feel cold air, but it's getting some structure on it there, so we'll just keep watching this guy. Maybe we'll have to go a little bit north or east or something. Stay out with it, but it looks cool. Yeah, really outflow. You could see, if you stare at it for a while, you can kind of see the outflow pushing out. You can see the outflow really pushing out ahead of it. But it might be trying to get a little bit of rotation in there. I mean, like I said, it's going to try to rotate a little bit, and it probably is trying to get a little bit in there, but these storms are going to have trouble for the most part because, well, the environment just isn't in place really. It's a really, really pretty storm, guys. This is kind of what I was expecting today. There's not any motion in that cloud at all. Just a pretty storm. We're gonna keep just sitting here and watching this thing. This is a fun thing about storms this time of year. They like to move very, very slow. Definitely got cold outflow ahead of this thing now. So any tornado chances it has are kind of done. It's got that outflow, but decent bit of lightning on it. Not a ton. There's some lightning right there. I'm kind of excited for tomorrow's storm chase a little bit more. So here's my plan. Tomorrow I will probably head west here to southwest Kansas, maybe Texas Panhandle, not really sure yet. And then chase tomorrow. And then I might come home Friday, finish setting up my stream with all the overlays and stuff, and I'm gonna get those cooking here. And once I do that, then Sunday we'll probably be heading back out, maybe even by Saturday, but probably Sunday head back out. Do some more chasing. We got a turbulent sky here. Very turbulent sky. Max, I'm just southwest of Ottawa, Kansas on Interstate 35. So I'm in eastern Kansas here. Yeah, I'm kind of south of Topeka, a little ways south of Topeka, but in that general direction. You know, kind of got a slow-moving storm here. It looks really pretty, but so it's very outflow dominant. This is kind of a really, really secondary target. With that for a minute, storms, we're trying to wrap up. We even had a tornado warning earlier north of Topeka, but now the outflow's kind of taken over here. Yep. Almost to 100 likes, guys. Make sure to smash that like button. It only takes, just one click. Helps my channel out, helps my stream out. Appreciate it. I am working on getting a better stream set up here soon. In the process, I'm hoping by Saturday and Sunday to have that ready. I'm gonna have a big threat Monday, possibly even Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday could have some big time severe weather. We might head back north just a little bit here to get back out in front of this thing. But this storm is like almost not moving. I'll show you guys the radar. You can see here. Look at this thing. It's just sitting here. Look. It's just sitting north of Melvern right now. Just sitting right there. It's just sitting in one spot. So right now we're not really moving. You are starting to get a little bit of rotation maybe north of Melvern. Maybe a little bit of rotation north of Melvern. I think that's what it looks like on radar. So the part of the storm that's above me is outflow dominant, but the part that we're looking at has a little bit of inflow trying to come back into it, just to our north there. But you can see, I'll show you guys. Let me move the camera angle. See out here, this is all cold outflow dominant there. And then there's where you're getting a little bit of inflow in on that side of the storm. So right here, it's really cold. Like I mean, if I went outside, I'd almost be shivering. But you can see a couple, like you can see some mid-level clouds streaming from right to left. So you do have a little bit of a inflow, and then you have a big-time hail core right there. But we're gonna move a little bit to the north, maybe. Let me see here. Maybe we just head just to the east of Melvern. I don't know. That looks to be the spot we're gonna want to be. Ah, gosh, my service might be horrible. So maybe we should just stick it on 35, where I know I can get some service. Let's see here. Yeah, we can go. Yeah, we can head up in that general direction. We'll head a little bit north, and then we'll head a little bit to the east. This thing's moving a little bit. It's, I'd say, more of a crawl than a move. It's like a snail. It looks like, it almost looked like on radar there is some kind of rotation trying to, you know, get going, but we might get into some rain here. I don't know. We're going to go about 1.5 miles to the north. There's ever so slightly some rotation maybe to the east of north of Melvern, but it might be back there. Actually, guys, the rotation might be back in that. I think it is back there in that rain. So you can see the right edge of that rain right above the tree line. You can see the edge of that rain, and that any rotation's probably back in there. It's so weak. We might get a nice storm at sunset maybe today. Maybe some good hail, flooding. If there's a flash flood warning a few miles to the north of us, and it's observed, so probably I bet Osage City area, Linden these areas are getting hammered with some hail here. 100% a little bit of a mesocyclone back up in there, somewhere up in that range. A mesocyclone is the part of the thunderstorm that's rotating. That's where a tornado comes from. Now, a lot of mesocyclones never end up dropping tornadoes, but let's see here. We're going to turn here about 700 feet. I'm going to lose visual for just a second. I'll try to. Not these roads. We might. I hope we don't lose internet connection. I'm trying to stay somewhat close to the interstate so we don't. This road has about 100 potholes on it. Here, I'm just gonna get back into position, and then we'll get a view of it again in a couple minutes. But yeah, we'll just get out ahead of it a little bit. These roads hopefully don't get too slick here. Had some rotation to wrap up a little bit quick, but it's kind of gone already. Weekend, big time hail core back in. Give me just a second here. We're gonna get out. Wonder if the storm looks even a little bit better way out in front of it. Yeah, but this thing was almost stationary, and now it's starting to move east just a little bit. This thing was almost stationary, and now it's starting to move east just a little bit. There we go. These roads are so fun. right, we're gonna turn in about. We're gonna turn north in about 2 miles, guys. So just about 3 minutes. We'll get to where we want to be. The farther, if we get east on this storm, we'll have a better view of it. Wow, that actually the storm looks really cool right now up here. That's kind of cool right there. That's a cool looking cloud. These clouds are still, like they're not really moving much, but they look cool. So that's what we were going for today, with some cool looking storms. Tomorrow, more considerable tornado risk, maybe. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I think the jury's still out on Sunday and Tuesday. But we're about to get into the forest here. Probably gonna lose connection, I'm sure. Going over some river. Forested area here. But maybe I've lost connection, so hopefully I'm not just talking to myself, but Sunday there could be some big storms on the dry line, anywhere from Texas Panhandle up to the Nebraska South Dakota border, where the surface low is. Dog, dude, that was a big dog too. That would have hurt me, hurt the car and the dog. I don't know if he was just thinking, hey, come up and play with the car, or what. No idea. All right, guys, just give me a couple more minutes here until we get out in position on this thing. We're gonna get a better view of it here. Yeah, gosh, we're in the forest of Eastern Kansas jungles here. The Eastern Kansas jungle. Look at how many trees there are. We're in Kansas. By golly, we're in Kansas. Wonder if we have internet connection. It says I have 4 bars. Big threat for Iowa Monday. Yeah, Iowa's going to be under the gun. 100 likes on the stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, boys and girls. 100 likes. Let's go. All right, 700 feet here. We'll be able to turn north. Maybe we'll get a view of this thing. This still looks like a lot of forest. Let me make sure we can get a view. I don't want to just drive through forest here. Let's see. Okay, if I go a little bit farther, we're gonna have a better chance at a view. Actually, dude, I don't even look at where I'm at. Look at where I'm at. Talk about a threat for deer out here. I mean, probably cattle, maybe too. We're in the thick of it, man. Wow, we're in the thick of it, guys. Oh, jeez. Yeah, remind me to never take these roads when they're soaking wet, by the way. This is rough. This is rough right here. So tonight I'm gonna head southwest after this chase is over. Maybe I'll head down to somewhere to the maybe southwest of Wichita. I don't know, like Pratt. Maybe even I don't know if I can get. Maybe if I can get all the way to Dodge City, I'll do that. All right, guys, we're just one more road here, and then we're gonna get a view of our storm. We should be getting out of the forest soon. It's pretty it's a nasty storm. Be really careful going up these hills. Here we go at the stop sign. We'll get out and fun place to park here. Go a little bit further actually. We'll go just to the north here. The storm, oh Oh no, they dropped the severe warning. Oh man. I don't know about that. I think it should still be severe warned. I bet it has some quarters back in there. At the minimum. We have a shelf cloud starting to get its act together here. Might have a big shelf cloud soon. There's our storm right there. Nice little telephone pole right in front of the shot. I wonder how big the hail is. You gotta still have some ping pong balls in there. I mean, come on. Maybe some quarters for sure. It still looks pretty nasty on radar there. There's some observed flash flooding. I like chasing flash floods. Maybe we could get into that. There definitely is a little bit of rotation on this storm. Still, it's deep in there, deep in that hail core. So probably kind of right behind that telephone pole, right above the tree line. You might have some rotation deep into that storm. Not a lot, but some. We'll probably chase these storms for another hour or so, maybe hour and a half. We'll chase them until dark, and then once it's dark, we'll probably call it. And get to tomorrow's target. Yeah, there's a tiny little couplet back in there. We'll have to monitor this, but the rotation is, the rotation is very weak, but there is some, there is some rotation about 4 miles to the north of Linden. 4 miles to the north of Melvern, just to the east of Linden. We got a nasty storm. Back in there. It's packing a punch. I wonder if they put the I wonder if they're going to put the severe warning back on this thing. I don't know. Not too sure, guys. Remember to like the stream and sub to the channel. We'll be out here all year long. Maddie Fitzgerald, thank you for the $2 donation. Maddie, I am in, I'm just to the southwest of Ottawa, Kansas. Just to the southwest of Ottawa, near I-35. Looking at a pretty nasty storm here. Thank you, Maddie. Could be more north. Now, there's definitely a little bit of rotation back in that storm. It's so wrapped up in rain just to the north of Melvern. I'll show you guys here. There's a little couplet. See where those reds and see how those reds and greens kind of dance on top of each other over that circle? There's a little couplet right in there. It's not strong, and it's really not strong enough to produce anything, but it's up there in the storm. Some mid-level rotation at least. It's also there on the other radar. You can see it's a little bit of that on the other radar out of Kansas City. The closest one would be out of Topeka, though, or just to the west of Topeka. Good lightning strike there. We'll have to get out ahead of this thing again. Maybe we go back into some of these towns and try to find some flash flooding. I don't know. I'm gonna head up 35 towards like Homewood. I don't really know where I have it. I'm gonna go just a little bit east in just a minute, but we're just gonna sit here for now and let this thing come close to us. Chat, I need you to let me know. Do you want me to try to see what the hail core is like at some point? Maybe wait till the hail core gets strong and then go check it out. All right, guys, we'll start to head maybe a little bit more east here. Let's see. Back towards Williamsburg. Big flood threat on these storms. They're moving really slow. Training over the same areas. We got a flash flood warning for Osage City, Linden, Overbrook. Looks like over towards KC, these storms are moving quick enough. Don't have to worry about a big flood threat. There is mid-level rotation on these things. It is rotating a little bit back in there. Behind that rain and that big blob of rain, there's a little bit of rotation, but these are mostly outflow dominant, which means that the winds from the storm are pushing out. So they're pushing to the southeast in this case. These storms are outflow dominant. Look, it comes to you, yeah. You're gonna go to sleep, stay safe. Hey, thanks, man. You stay safe too, all right? The colors on this storm are going to look quite nice here as we get into the golden hour in the next 30-40 minutes. Well, this thing's not moving. I'm just going to sit here, y'all. This thing ain't moving at all. So we're just going to sit here, watch it. You can see some of that like turquoise kind of like really strong gray color back in there, white, maybe a little bit of white back in there. That is an abundance of rain and maybe small hail. More than likely, he's got a lot of small hail Looked like it dumped a lot more hail just to the south of Linden. This area got some rain last night, so we might be headed towards some flooding here. But these storms now are kind of just going outflow dominant. So any really small tornado risk we did have is gone for the most part. There's a couple instances where they tried to wrap up, but just not quite enough today for these to do much rotation wise. Certainly a lot of beneficial rain here in the southern plains. Let's see here. Yeah, that rotation we have is kind of gone now. Not even getting that much rain now. We'll see. Maybe these storms will totally weaken in the next 30 minutes. Maybe they'll keep chugging along. Yeah, the storm definitely weakened a little bit. That's for sure. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and move. I don't just want to sit in one spot. Maybe, I know the storm's lost a lot of its structure that we had. Had some structure just 15-20 minutes ago. It's kind of lost a lot of that structure we had. A little bit more outflow dominant, higher base. It's lost its hail core a little bit. Uh-oh, our storm just weakened. Maybe we just start headed towards the other target and get some nice, maybe we just start heading towards the other target. Maybe we get a nice look on the back side of these supercells. I bet they look really pretty. Maybe we go for some sunset photography or something, I don't know. On the back side of these storms as the sun sets, watch them explode in the distance. Maybe get some modest clouds, little popcorn clouds. Not much internet here at all, that's for sure. Maybe that's what I'll try to do. Maybe since these storms have kind of lost their structure and their punch, maybe we try and get out ahead of them, and then, out behind the storms. And sometimes these things will look really good from the backside, from the western side of the storm when the sun goes down. Gonna have to be on red alert for any more animals No more dogs. Almost hit this dog earlier. I ran out in front of the car. Yeah, just a lot of outflow on these things, and it's just really ugly now. Probably should have targeted Texas today. Right now, those are just hailers. There's just no moisture at all. But a lot of times, sometimes even when you have those marginal setups out in the Texas Panhandle, they like to do big things. Sometimes those setups like to go and do some crazy things that you would not usually expect because of the topography and elevation out there in the western part of Texas. Same thing in Kansas, same thing in Colorado. Storms will do the same. Especially Colorado. Northeast of Denver, you'll get what you call the Denver cyclone in Colorado, and it'll be a little bit of a, because of the topography there along the Rockies, you get a little bit of a surface swirl, and sometimes that can locally enhance tornado potential. That's why the area just to the east and northeast of Denver actually gets the most tornadoes out of anywhere in the world. Now, usually they're not strong tornadoes. A lot of times they're weaker tornadoes, or it'll be land-spout tornadoes in the middle of the summer, but you will get tornado. You will get the highest concentration of tornadoes on average in the world there, and just to the northeast of Denver, Colorado. And I don't know if we'll be having an active Colorado season or not this year. We'll have to see. Last year was kind of a dud for the high plains in general. Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico, not much action out there. Now, 2023 was quite the opposite. You had the high plains go nuts from New Mexico all the way up through Wyoming that year. Western Panhandle of Nebraska, far western Kansas even as well. Because you had the El Nino. You had the El Nino weather pattern. Had your El Nino weather pattern out in the Pacific Ocean. Last year you had more of a La Nina. In recent years, the kind of the northern plains and the high plains haven't been quite as active as years in the past. But the northern plains, you had that one good setup last year, Mound City, South Dakota. We saw an awesome tornado in Mound City, South Dakota last year. We're in the middle of a forest. This part of Kansas is so overrated for chasing. It's awful. The Flint Hills, just unless you're on the highways, it kind of stinks, because like back there's way more trees than what you'd expect for this part of the country. Now granted, it's a lot better than like the Ozarks or the south, especially the southeast, because at least these trees aren't that tall. Out in the southeast US, you have those big tall pine trees. These ones aren't that tall. Okay, we're about half a mile from our exit here. And then we're going to go intercept some of these storms, maybe get behind them, get a nice sunset. And then I'll be on my way for tomorrow. And my fingers will be crossed for about the next 2 hours or so, and hoping that I don't miss anything down in the Texas Panhandle. Fingers crossed, guys. These following severe days are going to be what I call needle in the haystack type of chases where, well, needle in the haystack chases where you have a lot of these chase days where there's a big area that you could target, a big area from north to south that you could target. For example, tomorrow, honestly, I could see anywhere from southwest Kansas all the way down to Fort Stockton, all the way down to the Mexico border, Sanderston being a target. We might get some purple lightning here. Good speed limits here. Kansas got a 75 speed limit. That's kind of nice. That's very nice. Very smooth roads. I'm impressed. Kansas, good job. Good job. Great roads. We're about 30 minutes from Emporia. Maybe about, I don't know, give or take, hour and a half from Wichita. Might as well stream for a little bit, guys. If you're in the chat, might get the chat pumping here. Ask me some questions here. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Any time that you're on the west side of the storm and you have the sun coming from that western angle, it's really pretty. Which is what we're going for here in the next hour as the sun goes down. Hail Toxigoni. Hail tongue exo. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that, Kim. About if I wanted to go home, I'm about 2 hours and 40 minutes away from home. I don't know. I really think there's going to be something to chase tomorrow. And then, guys, the stream improvement is coming. I'm gonna have a weather radar probably in the bottom right corner of the stream. And I don't know what else I'll add. Maybe I'll. I think the problem so far the last 2 days, today and yesterday, was lack of moisture. We just didn't have much moisture. And then my memberships, guys, I'm sorry I haven't been doing my daily vlog the last few days. Right now, those storms in Texas really aren't doing much tornado-wise at all. Alright guys, we're gonna get hit with some heavy rain here. But you can see the white, you can see kind of the white, maybe a little bit of an orange tint because the sun is going down. You can see the rain is coming. We're gonna get west of these things, like I said, and just see if they have any good sunset. Let's see if they have any good sunset opportunities on the back end of these storms. Thank you for the $19 or for the $20 donation. Everybody spam W Riley in the chat. Let's make sure not the hydroplane here. Yeah, you can see the sun is poking through the rain just a little bit. You got that orange tint. Lightning is like purple shaded. Let's see if we get any small hail. I don't know. These storms weakened a lot. We might not get any small hail on these. Here we go. We're getting some peas. Getting some pea-sized hail here. Oh my gosh, there's a storm in Colorado that looks like it's going to do something crazy now. Here comes the hydroplaning. Here comes the hydroplaning. Guys, I think if we can get west of these storms, I think we'll have a really pretty sunset. I don't know if we can get west in time, but we're gonna try here. If we can just get to Emporia, I think, by like 7:50, I think we can do it. We might hit another hail core here in the next 10 minutes, but we have. I'll try to show you guys quick. We're driving through this storm. We're going due west here, driving right through that storm. So, I cannot wait to get the overlays onto the stream. I've been trying to figure it out. It's not an easy thing to do. It's definitely pretty complicated. W. Riley, any tips on how to start storm chasing? All right, if you want to start storm chasing, here are my tips, okay? Just go do it. That's all I gotta say. Just go out and do it. Like, honestly. Now, hey, don't go into it completely blind. Do some research. Make sure you at least know how to read the radar, you know, and know how to read some like very basic storm features. I mean, you could watch a couple hours worth of YouTube videos and figure a lot of that out. All you need to do is watch a couple hours worth of YouTube videos. You can figure that out. Now, after that, the best thing you can do is just keep chasing. And the more and more you storm chase, you start to gain knowledge. You start to know what to do, and that's just the biggest thing: experience. Or if you know someone who's a storm chaser, have them take you out. You'll learn a lot. You want to start getting into it. That's what I would do. but at least know the basics, like how to read radar, and then like some basic storm structures, like know the difference between a shelf cloud and a wall cloud, please. I can't tell you how mad it makes me when I see people confuse a shelf cloud with a wall cloud. One of my biggest pet peeves, guys. Almost 125 likes, guys. Keep running the likes up on the stream. We're almost out of this precip. We're punching through the core. We're gonna get some heavier rain here in just a second. But we'll be out of this rain in the next, we'll be out of the heavy rain in the next 5 minutes. Have some sunlight poke through soon. See the sun peeking through that little gap in the clouds here. All right, here's some actual hail. We had some maybe half-inch size hail right there. Maybe some half-inch size stones right there. All right, never get under the overpass like this. It's extremely dangerous. Don't ever do that. Extremely dangerous to do. That's how people get into accidents right there. You see the sun really poking through now. We have one more storm cell. You can see it even has a little bit of a hail cloud on it. Might be out of the heaviest rains now. that little skinny cell. Look at that tiny little guy right there. I think once we get out behind these storms, we might have a good looking sunset here. We'll see. I'm not for certain on that. But we might have a lot of good lamadas out to the west of these storms here. Maybe have some good looking lamadas. I'm excited to chase tomorrow, that's for sure. I think it could be a decent setup. Anyone have any questions in the chat, shoot them my way. Let's get this chat pumping. Man, during the winter storm chases, the chat was always going crazy. During these storm chases, it's not much. Little mini supercell right there, right in front of us. Had a chance to see it. Trying to read this. Had a chance to chase a few weeks ago, but it was a night. Love what you're doing to keep the great word. Hey, Tucker, thank you so much. If you guys missed my tornado intercept near Jeff City on Sunday, there's a video of that tornado intercept up on my channel in Jefferson City, just to the north of Jeff City. Thank goodness it didn't hit in town, because that thing was a very strong tornado for, granted it was very strong for about 2 minutes, but it was a strong tornado for a quick second. There in Jeff City. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have a really great sunset or not. It's possible we might not, because look, if you look out to the distance, see those clouds in the distance? Those are anvil clouds from storms out in western Kansas. And those anvil clouds might block the sun as it's coming down, and you might not get that crazy sunset effect because those clouds are blocking it. Or maybe it'll peek through, I'm not sure. Those are anvil clouds all the way out west in the western Kansas. Towards, those are from storms all the way out towards Garden City and Scott City. Even got storms all the way down in Guyman, all the way through the Texas Panhandle. Those Texas Panhandle storms just look like hailers right now. As that low-level shear ramps up here, I wonder if they're going to try to drop some tornadoes or not. We'll see. But I'm not too sure about the tornado risk down there. That's really kind of why I didn't chase down there. I knew there would be better storms, but wasn't too sure about the tornado risk. So far, we are correct. But things can change in a hurry, so I'm going to hold my breath, but there's not much wind shear down there to work with. Storm in Colorado has a tornado warning on it, all the way up by Selma. I wonder if anybody's on that thing up there. Well, actually, there's multiple people up there. I wonder if anyone's got any video of anything up there. But you got multiple people up there. I've chased Colorado 2 times. And neither time it didn't really do anything for me. So that Colorado is such an interesting place to chase. Storms behave differently there than they do in other parts of the country. Because of the elevation and the terrain. Nothing like a burst of heavy rain while you're driving into the sunshine. We got one more little cell that's on top of us, and then once we're out of this thing, we're going to be into the clear air. We'll see how much sunset potential we might have here. I don't know if it's going to be that great, but we'll see. If not, then I guess we're just on our way to tomorrow's target. I don't know, I'll probably drive for 3 hours, maybe 3 more hours or something, and then I'll find a spot to car camp. I'll sleep in the car. Out here, we're just trying to make it. We got to be as efficient as possible with our funds, which means that we sleep in the car. That's what that means. There's some small hail leaving on the ground right here, so must have got some small hail. Let's see, we might have a nice sunset here, but I don't know. It looks like the sun is being blocked, unfortunately, by these other clouds. But it's incredible. Look, we're into clear air, and there's still rain. There's still rain falling here in the clear air, so that's always cool to see. You don't see that every day. We got some storm complexes going on, so let me explain what we're looking for tomorrow. We have some storm complexes going on across Texas and Kansas right now. And this is what we're kind of looking at, is if any of those storm complexes can move east and drop an outflow boundary somewhere over western Oklahoma, eastern Texas Panhandle, maybe even down into southwestern Texas or southwestern Kansas. But we're looking for any of those complexes of storms that drop an outflow boundary. And if those can drop an outflow boundary, that can make things a little bit more interesting tomorrow. Outflow boundary, even without an outflow boundary, I still think tomorrow is a more interesting setup than today was anywhere. But if you get an outflow boundary draped across the warm sector, and you're able to get some back winds and along a stationary boundary, I mean, you never know what can happen. Some crazy things could happen. So we're looking for an outflow boundary tomorrow. And I'm not opposed to going all the way down to Fort Stockton if I really have to, but that would be a trek right there. Let's see, I wonder how far Fort Stockton is. Curious. There's no way we'd go down there. Because I'm trying to get home by Friday. So I can fix my streaming setup. Fort Stockton's 11 hours away. So if we wanted to drive 3 or 4 hours tonight, we have to take a 7-hour trek tomorrow to get down here. So unless that really looked like the target, there's no way I would want to do that for sure. So the sun is setting behind this anvil cloud. So probably not going to have the greatest sunset in the world because of that. But guys, I don't have a lot of people in here watching, so once I get more viewers on my streams, I will sit and chill with chat for a long time. Riley boarding again with the $10. W Riley. Man, Riley's carrying the whole channel right now, guys. But that's our third super chat. But guys, once I get more viewers on these streams and I get my stream updated and set up, I'd love to do these drives on stream. Or I just really need to build up my members. Like once I get my members built up to a couple hundred people, then I can try to attempt to do some members lives and stuff like that. But once we're on the really good tornadoes this year, the viewers will come. That's for sure. That's all I know. And we've been on good tornadoes this week. Let me show y'all before I maybe end the stream here. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys some of the tornadoes we've seen this week here. That was in Jeff City. That was in Jefferson City on Easter Sunday at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's another picture of it right there. It got pretty big there in Jeff City. Pretty strong tornado. So we're gonna head down towards the Wichita area. About 90 miles from Wichita. And then on last Thursday, so almost a week ago now, tomorrow it'll be a week ago, but last Thursday we had a big tornado in Nebraska. Look at that thing in Nebraska. We had that on the stream. And then we also had another big tornado in we also had another big tornado in Iowa just after the one in Nebraska. So we were on fire. We've been on fire the last week. There's a big tornado in Iowa there after the one in Nebraska. So we've been on fire this week. So we'll see if the storms, want to give us tornadoes tomorrow. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll see if they want to give us storms. I mean, good storms and good tornadoes. They may or they may not. But we've been on fire this week for sure. That the Nebraska tornado, a good amount of other chasers saw as well. The ones in Iowa, there's a few chasers on it, but not a ton of chasers. We were we probably had the best view of that tornado of any chaser. And same with the tornado on Easter Sunday. We had a better view than really any other chasers out there. So we've had a good week so far. So far, hopefully our streak of luck and maybe a little bit of skill. It's a combination of luck and skill. It always is when you're chasing storms. Hopefully that continues into the rest of the week here. You're in Kansas City. It looks rough. Melissa, yeah, you're getting some strong storms in Kansas City. Not really anything severe. Gonna be some rain, some lightning. Not worried about any tornadoes there. Maybe some gusty winds, some really small hail, but it's really nothing to worry about there, Melissa, and the Kansas City guys. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this stream wrapped up here. Appreciate the ones of you who are tuning into the streams. You guys are the real ones. Make sure to tune into the stream tomorrow. I'm going to get that scheduled probably sometime tonight. Well, maybe not tonight because I really don't know where we're going to be. But in the Texas Panhandle, I'll be pretty content with this one. But if you guys have it, this is our year. 2025 is our year. We're going to do some big things this year. Headed into May, headed into peak season, where I'm really gonna hit the, where I'm really gonna go strong here is in the summer. I'm gonna dominate these summer months when everyone else is tired of storm chasing. June, July, August, when everyone else is getting tired of storm chasing, I'm gonna be out there continuing to hit it hard. Okay, one more question I'm going to answer from Tucker. Any equipment that you need to... Hold on, sorry, it's hard to read while I'm driving here. Hold on, Tucker. I'm going to answer your question in just a second here. I'm guessing you're asking about equipment here. Okay, Tucker says any equipment that you need to have... Excusing the obvious ones. Yeah, I mean, you have your obvious equipment, obviously. A car, of course. You want a car. That's kind of helpful. You don't want to go chase on your bike. Unless you're Andrew Griffiths. You can go chase on your bike. But no, you want a car, of course. Something to film with. I mean, nowadays your iPhones are going to get such good footage, you don't even need a nice camera. If you have a nice camera, that's great. You're going to get better footage. But nowadays, especially during the daytime, iPhones get such great footage during the daytime. At nighttime, that's when a camera can really come into handy, is at nighttime. But during the daytime, your phone ain't going to be that much different. Do I have tolls up here? Well, don't tell me I have a toll. There's only a couple of tolls in Kansas. There's not very many of them. I hope this isn't one of them. It might be. I might be getting into a toll here. But equipment-wise, I have a cell phone booster. So a cell phone booster isn't necessary. I mean, but think about a lot of the places you chase in. You're in the middle of nowhere. If you're ever going to run a live stream, a cell phone booster is kind of a necessity to have. You kind of need it. But if you're just trying to chase storms for fun, really you don't. But if you have an extra $500, you know, I would suggest a WeBoost cell booster. If you have an extra $500, it's a good investment. Those things work like magic. They probably double the internet speed. Other than that, I mean, there's not much, guys. There's not much. If you're really hardcore, you're going to have a bunch of extra cameras. Oh, talking about equipment, a hard hat. A hard hat is nice to have, and some glasses. And I'll tell you why. So if you get, and actually, I don't even have those two things in my car right now. It's probably, I forgot glasses and a hard hat. But I'll tell you, if you get in a tricky situation, and you have baseball-sized hail hitting your car at 60 miles an hour, that baseball-sized hail can easily get into the car and break your windows, and then you can get glass in your eyes. Or if you're outside of the car, if you get a hailstone to the noggin, I mean, you could get seriously injured or even killed. So if you're chasing really big hail, I'd say having glasses is always a safe bet. Because you never know if you could get a window shattered, and you might want to have glasses in there. Seriously. So other than that, not a ton of stuff that you really need. A shovel. I mean, maybe a shovel. Yeah, maybe a shovel. If you get stuck and you got to dig yourself out of some mud or something. But other than that, you just got to bring a good attitude. That's about it. All right, well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream here. Not much exciting happening. But we tried, didn't we? We tried. So, on that note, you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We had over 100 likes on the stream. Got some good donations. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow. Probably 90% chance I will see you guys tomorrow, and then I'll be back out maybe Saturday, but for sure probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with improved stream equipment. So everybody have a great rest of your evening and stay safe.